lighting studio. So this is so that we can take photographs inside. Right here, we've got different backdrops. So we've got a black backdrop, a gray backdrop, and a white backdrop. If you want to use one, move the rod that it's on, or blow down the paper. So that won't move right now. If it's not moving, there are screws attached to it, so it might just be stopping it. For now, I can just pull down the paper. So that I can use it. I might even want to pull it down a little bit further. So that it's on the bottom as well if I don't want that wood texture. It really depends on how your picture is looking. If you're just doing a portrait, you might not need it on the bottom. Now we've got a smooth backdrop. Over here, we have lights. So we're going to make it dark. We want to make sure that the sunlight isn't affecting it either, because the sunlight is going to have a harsh lighting from one side, where we want to make sure that we can make the lighting look even. So I'm going to set up how I want this to look. I was taking a picture right here. All right, so while I'm taking pictures in here, I want to use a tripod to make sure that my camera is still. So on the bottom of my camera, I have this attached, and see how these two sides are going in? I want to put one side in here, and then there's a lever to let it sit there, and I want to tighten this so it stays in place so that I can take photographs. I can adjust how I want it to look. I can adjust the height with these right here. And then I'm going to line it up so I can take my picture. So I have the classroom lights turned off. I have this one light on right here, and I have the lights from the back on right there. And so because this one is coming from the side, I am getting a shadow over here where the highlights are over here. I am going to look at my camera, make sure that it's at the right height. It's zoomed in, so we're gonna have to get pretty close to our object. It's zoomed in how I want. When I read with the center, it is giving me a green light right now. I adjusted my settings so I can make sure. Again, I could tilt it down to read this, make sure that it's accurate. These should be pretty similar, so you shouldn't have to move it too much. But you can move it slightly to see if it gives you a slightly different reading. And then I see I have it in focus. I wrote down in my workbook the aperture, the shutter speed, and the focus. And then I can go ahead and take this picture right here. and then advance my film. I want to be aware of all the lighting in here. So if I didn't want that shadow there, maybe I would move this over. But notice now, if I put it behind the camera, one, it's going to be really difficult to get in here and take a picture. And two, now I'm going to block it, and you can't really see this at all because of the shadows. And the camera shadow is on there too. So maybe I want it to the side. If I want to add another light on the other side, I can. Bring another light over here, but that light over there is much more powerful than this light. So I can still see the shadow that's cast from that other light, even though this one is now bringing some light to this side. So I could use two of the same light to light this, and then there wouldn't be that shadow. But now these ones are really close to the camera, or to the object. I would want to make sure that it doesn't get in. You want to make sure that it doesn't get in the photograph at all, because we don't want a bright light like that in there. So if I'm checking, and I might need someone else in my group to help with these kind of lights because these don't have a stand. And so now it is adding a really strong highlight right here. So I might even want to diffuse these lights or to use another light and diffuse that. So maybe I want to stay with this stand-up light right here with the shadow on the side. But maybe I want to switch the background. You can change it up. You could use a really bright or a light object with the light shining on it with the dark background and create contrast with it. You can change up your objects. You could put a mirror down here for reflections. Really up to you. But with studio lighting, the thing you want to keep in mind the most is with the lighting. So if you have it too close, it's going to be too bright. If you have it in the wrong position, it might be too dark. So you really want to figure out what the best distance is, how to deal with the shadows, to be able to portray your object the best that you can. I'm super excited to see what you make or take pictures of, and we'll see how they turn out. You can also use a shutter release cord like this. All you do is you take the end without the button and put it inside of your shutter. Just took a picture. So I would do it without having the film advanced, or it's going to take a picture. But then I just tightened it on. So then it looks like this, and it's connected. And I would be able to press this button, so now I could advance the film. And then I can take a picture. With this button, and then that way it won't shake the camera. Make sure that before you leave, this area looks better than how you found it. So I want to make sure to put my backdrop back. I want to make sure to put the lights back, make sure we're all turned off. If the classroom light was on, then I'm going to want to turn it back on. And make sure that there's nothing on the floor. Put my objects back where I found them, and make sure that I end up leaving it really nice in here. Might take some time to roll the paper back up. but make sure all the paper gets rolled back up. You can put the table back, the chair back up here. So make sure it looks nice for the next people who are going to use it. So notice how one end, it has this pointy part and the other end has the button. If I start twisting the button out, it reduces this here. And then that way it's easier to turn and put this in the shutter, and this will be ready to take a picture. But if you press it down, you might just need to turn it. So it's like that.